personal affirmations as a part of your daily routine. Now, what are personal affirmations? Personal affirmations are essentially this, is reminding yourself of positive think, right? So in mental health, a mental health study, there's a concept called cognitive behavioral therapy, or CBT. CBT is used as a component to treat some people with symptoms of PTSD. Now, cognitive behavioral therapy is great in its understanding that there's a lot of cognitive distortions or lies that we tend to tell ourselves. And I came across this for sure when I was dealing with veterans and I deal with military personnel. But it was shocking to discover that I dealt a lot with this as well when I was dealing with mentoring salespeople. So I started applying CBT, or what I've learned from CBT, when I was mentoring salespeople as well and coaching salespeople. And here's the thought, and here's the idea, which is cognitive distortion. We tell ourselves these cognitive distortions and these lies, and we hear them all the time. And I'm sure that you've heard them too, which is you're not good enough. You totally botched that sale. These clients hate you. Your business is not going to be successful. You don't even know where the next all these lies. It's almost like your parents are behind you, telling you all these mistakes that you're going to make. And you have a lot of these within your life from an external source or other people, which are very toxic kind of influences, and we'll have a tendency to develop them ourselves. Positive affirmations, and why this is so important to do it on a daily basis, is to combat those cognitive distortions that may enter into our subconscious and start getting into our conscious mind. So writing down some kind of affirmations are great. Celebrate your successes. Remind yourself of who you are and what you've done. This is what I get into when I get into one-on-one personal coaching. I'm one that starts helping people out of their cognitive distortions and start forming affirmations. Now, in this online program, what I would encourage you to do is take a look at some of the successes that you've had before. Have you graduated with a specific degree? Do you have an MBA? Do you have a bachelor? Are you proud of those things? Not everybody can achieve those things. Do you have specific licenses that many people have tried, and you're starting to become more and more elite as you do more and more training? Remind yourself of those things. You actually know what you're talking about. You've amassed a lot of education. Don't downplay the successes that you've had in your life. Remind yourself of who you are and start working on those affirmations, that we have an ability to be much better and to improve who we are. There's also two ways that you can look at a lot of things. So when I coach advisors, or when I coach salespeople and client-facing financial advisors, I tell them, or I show them, why don't you go and watch lawyer shows. I love lawyer shows. And the reason why I love legal shows is because when they go to court, you see two sides of the same coin. Because you'll see the defense and the prosecution, and they'll both describe a situation, and both of them will be describing it probably from different perspectives, and they're probably right, but they're completely opposite sides of the coin. I'll give you an example. I worked for part of my career. I worked for a life insurance company, and in that life insurance company, it was full commission. But on top of it, you had to buy your own equipment. So you had to buy your own laptop, which was about $1,500, and you had to rent your own office space. So people would come and they would say, this is a complete sham. This company is trying to take advantage of people. It's not a job. People are trying to take advantage of these people by making money, by selling them computers and trying to sell them rent space and pay for their program. And then they only give them a commission, or they only give them money when they sell something. Well, that is true. 100% that's true. That's one side of the coin. But you can take a look at the other side of the coin. And the other side of the coin was this, and this is the position I chose to take, which is, if you're going to go and start a business, a franchise, or start your own business is even worse. But if you're going to start your own business, nobody knows who you are. Now, this insurance company was nationally known, and it was it's one of the number one recognized brands in the country. And you get access to that. And if you're going to start a business, I can assure you it's going to cost you a lot more than $1,500. $1,500 to start a business with a national brand and marketing strategy is incredibly cheap. On top of it, The office rental that you have was heavily subsidized. To get that, it's like 3 times the cost. Look at all the positives that you potentially have versus all the negatives. And somebody can choose to look at all the negatives, which are cognitive distortions, or you can start looking at positive affirmations. Both could possibly be true. Look at the truth. You don't want to delude yourself, and you don't want to be delusional, but look for positive affirmations that are true. Look for good coaching. Remind yourself on a daily basis of all the positive things that you have. And it gets into things like gratitude. There'll be another segment on gratitude as well.